Hi, YouTube. It's Erica from In the Company of Cards. Welcome or welcome back. Delighted to have you. I'm just popping in quickly because you may well have heard the news that Judge Merchan it will be sentencing 45 on his hush money conviction on the 10th of January. And if you recall, the 10th of January is 10 days before he's meant to be inaugurated. I mean, I still think he will be inaugurated. I don't want to think that he'll be inaugurated, but I think he will be. But first, oh my God, first he'll be sentenced. So I want to look at this in a couple of ways. The first thing I think I'd like to look at is, how does he feel about this? So we will use the older man. See the card up on my wall there. We will use that card for 45. How does he feel about this news that, coming on the same day as Johnson is reelected as um, Speaker of the House? So that was his good news, I guess. Johnson being a flunky of his. But, now he's got this other news. And so there was a lot of speculation as to whether Merchan would sort of hold the sentence in abeyance until after 45 left office. Remember that Merchan has been taken the brunt of 45's vitriol, as has his daughter, who has nothing to do with the price of tea in China or anything else. So, I think Marchand just like wants this off of his plate. So, good for him for not letting the fact that this guy was reelected and is about to be inaugurated stop the wheels of justice from turning, and he is going to sentence him. Of course, I will look at the sentence, but first, let's look at how 45 is feeling. Okay. For those who don't know, this is coming from a place of what the Germans call Schadenfreude, Schadenfreude, meaning, I'm taking a little satisfaction out of the fact that this sentencing is coming when it will. Okay. So we're going to look for 45, and that will be the older man. Okay. All right. So here he is. And I'm putting the two cards in front of him and then the two cards to follow him. Okay. Um, I may draw some clarifiers just, for fun. But we have the child, we have the book, we have 45, we have the fish, and we have crossroads. So I'm going to say on the face of it that, um, you know, he feels, I'm going to call it infantilized. First of all, this is a new fly in the ointment, right? It's something new. But this is the child card. And by infantilized, what I mean is that this judge has some sway over 45. He thinks he's the king, the emperor, whatever, entertainment purposes only. But you know, the judge, the judge is over him, so to speak. So this is making him feel infantilized. The second card we have is the book. Well, sure, he feels infantilized, out of control, really, because he has no idea what Mirshan will do. Remember, the book is about things that we don't know. Okay. All right. I don't know why my phone's dinging like that. Here he is. He is emotional and all over the place. Things could go this way, things could go that way. Mirshan could say, I know you were found guilty, but since you're the president, I'm not going to do anything to you. I don't think that's going to happen. Mirshan could say, you owe X amount more money. Mirshan could say, house arrest, however that's supposed to work. Mirshan could say, jail, and because you're getting ready to be the president of the United States, you'll start serving the sentence the day that you're no longer in the White House. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. But the point is that 45 is just a wreck, a nervous wreck because he's not in control. So I'm going to pull some clarifiers. You can watch me do that if you want. Um, oops. Okay, so the clarifiers for this child card, which is again him feeling relative to Mirshan in this situation, powerless. The clarifiers are the key, the cross, and the clover. Okay, so let's see what that could mean. Uh, Key, Mirshan does hold the answer to whether or not 45 is, tortured, so to speak, or off the hook. These are kind of opposites, right? And Mirshan holds the key to this, which would explain why 45 feels infantilized and powerless. Okay. So then the clarifiers on the book are the star, the tower, and the coffin. He doesn't know what's going to happen. What will his future hold? Will he go to jail? Will he be imprisoned? This is what he's worried about. Okay. Really interesting. Okay. Now in the center, uh, why is this in the center? I don't know. Well, I have fish. Fish is emotion. Um, so we have clouds, we have woman, and we have the ring. So again, this is his emotion. His emotions are not good. He's depressed about this, worried about this. And again, feeling not just infantilized, but kind of powerless. Remember, this is yin energy, which is open and accepting, and he has no choice but to accept whatever sentence Mirshan hands down. And his thoughts are like circular thoughts, like, well, what happens if this? What happens if that? What if that? He's just all over the place, circular thinking. But here he is. And as typical 45, he doesn't really tend to worry about things or think about things until they're right on him, right? So, what he will do after he gets over the shock and awe of the fact that a date has been sent and set and it's like a week away, and the fury that it is before he is inaugurated, he will revert to form. So, we have the bear, the stork, and the ship. And he will just say, you know, I am who I am. I'm the boss. I'm the bear. What I say goes. I get what I want. This will all be behind me, start positive change. And I'm not even going to think about this anymore because, I'm sailing into the Oval Office. Last card here, Crossroads. We have scale, bouquet, and woman. Hmm. Uh, again, when I looked at the horizontal line going across, this is him saying, will it be this, will it be that, will it be this, will it be that? Uh, Scales, these are the scales of justice and fairness. And I'm going to tell you, I think that he thinks that in the end, because he got the presidency again, he will be rewarded. And even though he's yin in the sense that he has to take whatever's coming, and I can mirror the yin card with the child card. I think that he thinks everything's going to be okay. But he will have some anxiety-filled moments. But I think, and I mean, you can see why he would think this. Um, it's all going to work out. Like, Mershawn can't touch me, can he? He's not sure. Um, but he will worry about this when he has to worry about it. Mershawn has said he can appear in person or he can appear virtually. We don't know. I don't know yet what 45's decided to do about that. Um, but you know what? Now let's look at the sentence. Okay. I mean, this is difficult because obviously we've never been in these circumstances. Mershawn has never been in these circumstances. But, there was a verdict and the verdict was guilty. And so he can't get away unscathed. So what will the punishment be? And punishment and sentence is the same thing, right? I'm going to use the whip because that is a card for punishment, among other things. Sometimes I love the whip, sometimes I don't, because sometimes the whip can be positive things. But here we're going to let it stand for punishment. And we want to look at what punishment Mershawn will impose on 45. 45's getting off to quite the start. Okay, so we're looking for the whip. Okay, so this is the sentence that Mershawn will impose on 45. Okay, so we have stork, we have clouds, we have the punishment in the middle, we have the young man card, and we have the bear. I'm not loving this, to tell you the truth. Um, but let me pull some clarifiers before I talk about what I think they might mean. Well, okay, so we have the stork. Now remember, the stork is positive change. I can mirror it with the last card in that original line, which is the bear. Remember that the bear is one of my cards for 45. So, uh, I mean, will this, whatever this punishment is, be something that he's okay with? 45, I mean. Hmm. The clarifiers for the stork are the star, the fish, and the man. Now, fish here, well, again, this is positive change. The star is a card for the future. Now, remember that this is emotion, but this is also money. It could very well be that the sentence is a fine imposed on 45. This is another card for 45. Now, the second card in the original line is clouds. And that can be sort of, muddiness, confusion. And the clarifiers are the tree, the bouquet, and the woman. Now, okay, confusion. The tree, it could be that, um, the tree is the card for health, but it's also the card for something taking a long time. So, for example, if he were sentenced to jail, he would not be serving that time right away. He'd be serving it once he was finished being president, however long or short that tenure is. Um, but I mean, I really think that 45 will feel like um, he got off because the bouquet is a gift, a reward. But, but I'm going to change what I said. If we think of this line, vertical line that starts with the clouds, if we think of this line as backstory, the past, right, before we get to the rest of the cards, there's been a lot of confusion about what Mershan is going to do. We haven't known, right? We've had to wait for a long time. That's true. But I'm gonna say that I feel like this is um, Stormy Daniels, who is now at this point, an older woman. She's not that young anymore. And I think she's the one who gets her flowers in the sense that she will feel that justice is served by this sentence. Okay, so that's good. I like that. All right, so here we have the actual punishment. Okay, look, clarifiers are the book, the sun, and the snake. Uh, this is the punishment. The book is about things we don't know, things that are hidden. So that's really odd. But whatever is hidden, whatever we've not known, comes to light. So that's good. And it will be problematic for 45. I mean, I think he thinks he'll get off. This previous vertical line makes me think that Stormy Daniels at least will say, um, okay, I feel vindicated. And this card looks like trouble for 45, which of course, a sentence on a guilty verdict should feel like trouble to 45. All right, so what's coming in? We have the young man, the rider, the letter, and the birds. Now, I'm going to say hmm, that this is Mershan being bold about whatever he says in that courtroom. Uh, I forgot the order of the cards, but I guess it really doesn't matter. This is the message that Mershan is going to want to send. Um, this will be the sentence itself. And I think that the sentence is going to create a lot of buzz. I mean, you know what, though? Any sentence that he gets will create a lot of buzz. But it's as though Mershan wants to send a strong message about the power of the law relative to the power of the presidency or or 45 or anyone like him who does this kind of stuff that he does. So it will be a message. Now, the last line. Hmm. We have the bear, we have the lily, we have the heart, and we have the house. I mean, these are not bad cards. I'm not seeing things like the coffin. I'm not seeing things like the scythe. I'm not seeing things like the tower. And it's making me think that in the end, 45 will sort of, you know, brush that sentence off his shoulder like it's nothing. Uh, because this is my card for 45. It's like he wins. Now, We have the lily, which is peace, calm. We have this heart. And then we have this house. I mean, what? Is he going to get house arrest? I can mirror this house card with the stork. And again, he's going to get a different, I think he's going to get a different sentence than he would have gotten had he not won the White House, however he won it. I think he'll get a different sentence, a better sentence for him, a more favorable sentence for him, which is disappointing, but I'm going to try something else. I'm going to look at two options, no, three options, and see which one looks the most plausible. Um, because it's not as though the sentence doesn't exist. It exists because Marshawn has already arrived at the sentence. So I should be able to find out more about it. I do think I want to say that I feel as though Stormy Daniels will feel vindicated. Um, and the guilty verdict, of course, should have made her feel vindicated as well. But I'm going to do a different thing. So what I'm going to do is you've seen me do this if you've watched my lives where I read for actual people. I'm going to pull three cards for three different options and see which one looks the most plausible. So the first option is, will 45 be sentenced to prison? The middle line will be, will 45 be sentenced to house arrest of some sort? And then the third one over here will be, will 45 be just given a fine? Okay, so let's look. Okay, so this first line is prison. All right, and I'm just going to turn them over and then I'll come back to you with my actual face. This is house arrest. And this over here is sentence. I mean, a fine. Okay. I think I don't see prison. We have this young man here. We have the scythe, which would be, I mean, quite a good card for punishment, but the line ends with the stork. So I don't think so. I mean, for us, we would like that, but I think that that's not what will happen. The next one is house arrest, and some form of it looks plausible to me. We've got the ship moving forward, the sun, and then here's the card that I chose for punishment. There may very well be some form of house arrest that may not um, go into operation until he's out of the White House, because you can't have a president under house arrest. Come on. And then the third one was a fine. And we have the tree, the garden, and the ring. I think this is plausible. I think that the sentence could be a combination of money owed and some form of house arrest that will probably happen. Um, well, I don't know. It could happen before he gets inaugurated if it's only like a 10-day sentence. Um, he won't go to jail. Just, I don't think. I don't think so. Um, but there's one more spread I can do, and I'm going to ask specifically about jail. Again, I think he's going to get a different sentence than the one he would have gotten had he not won slash stolen, entertainment purposes only, the election. So this one is a six-card spread. And okay, will 45 spend time in jail? So we have the clouds in the house of the sun. Uh, I mean, by all rights, he should be in jail, but this casts doubt on that. We've got the whip in the house of the garden. Whatever punishment he gets, it will have to be very clear to the public that it's punishment. So that's interesting. And then we have the snake in the house of this younger man. And the clouds mirror this younger man. I think Mershon would love to sentence him to jail, but I don't think he will. Listen, if I'm wrong, it will be one of the rare occasions, and it will also be one of the rare occasions where I will be thrilled to be wrong. Uh, I think it'll be some form of fine and maybe house arrest to be served once he's out of office, something like that. Okay, well, I guess we'll see on the 10th, right? All right. Have a wonderful Friday, and I'll see everybody soon. Take care.